Hello and welcome to another episode of Diaspora Network, where we celebrate Nigerians making significant strides around the world. I'm Gloria Umezuke. On today's program, we take a close look at navigating the healthcare profession in the diaspora. Our guest is Dr. Michael Etomi, a US-based nephrologist with over 20 years of practice in the field. But first, let's get up to speed on the latest news in the diaspora.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated 6 distinguished Nigerian scientists and engineers who were recently named by the former US President Joe Biden as recipients of the prestigious Presidential Early Career Award for Scientists and Engineers. The award, established by former President Bill Clinton in 1996, is the highest honor the US government bestows on early career scientists and engineers. The Nigerian honorees announced in January include Aziz Butali, Ijeoma Opara, Oluwatomi Akindele, Eno Ebong, Oluwasanmi Koyejo, and Abidemi Ajiboye. These individuals, employed or funded by US government agencies, have made significant contributions across diverse fields, from public health to biomedical engineering. President Tinubu commended their remarkable achievements, noting their contributions highlight the immense potential of Nigerians to excel globally. He expressed hope that their expertise would help advance Nigeria's development under the renewed Hope agenda. Nigerian-born Canadian M.M. Madu has been appointed as a judge of the Alberta Court of Justice in Canada. Announced on January the 15th by Justice Minister Mickey Amery, Madu is one of 3 provincial judges, with her appointment taking effect at the end of the month. She will serve in the Edmonton Family and Youth Division. A graduate of the University of Lagos, Madu received her Bachelor of Laws in 2002 and was called to the Nigerian bar in 2003. She later earned a Master of Laws from the University of Alberta in 2007. Her career includes roles as a regulatory compliance specialist, policy analyst, and research lawyer in Edmonton. Madu's husband, Casey Madu, former Minister of Justice in Alberta, expressed immense pride in her historic appointment, praising her legal excellence. Despite the family's connection, the Alberta government assures that her appointment followed an independent vetting process. The Honourable Abike Dabiri Erua, chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, has congratulated Richard Edoki, a Nigerian-born broadcaster, on his nomination in the UK's Best Newcomer at the 2025 National Hospital Radio Awards. Edoki, also known as Richie Bongo, hosts African Vibe with Richie Bongo on CHBN Radio in Cornwall. The programme, which airs every Sunday, celebrates African culture, traditions and inclusivity. The National Hospital Radio Awards will take place on the 5th of April 2025 in Leicestershire, with Edoki's work recognised as a significant contribution to diversity and inclusivity in broadcasting. And the Nigerian-American boxer Emeka Nwokolo has been named in the 2024 Universal Boxing Organization Boxer of the Year after an extraordinary year in the ring. The Los Angeles-based fighter claimed both the UBO International title and the World Super Welterweight crown in his 2 bouts this year. Nwokolo, the son of Nigerian boxing legend Charles Nwokolo, began his run with a 5th-round stoppage in January, followed by a dominant performance in May to win the UBO World title and the WBA North American belt. Despite a hand injury, the 31-year-old remains focused on his return, saying he's eager to showcase his improved skills. During a 2024 visit to Nigeria, Nwokolo donated boxing kits to young fighters and expressed hopes of staging a fight in Lagos or his hometown in Anambra next year. Nwokolo described the UBO honour as motivation for greater achievements, calling it just the beginning of his journey to boxing greatness. Simon Pusey with your Diaspora Network News Wrap from London.
In our special report this week, we place a spotlight on Nigerian medical doctors who specialize in diagnosing and treating kidney conditions in the diaspora.
Nephrology is an internal medicine specialty focused on treating chronic kidney diseases and managing symptoms of kidney dysfunction. In addition to diagnosing and treating diseases and disorders related to the kidneys, nephrologists also administer preventive treatment to help patients avoid kidney failure and treat conditions such as high blood pressure and kidney stones, as well as conduct clinical trials to determine the safety and efficacy of new treatment procedures. According to the World Health Organization, kidney diseases have risen from the world's 19th leading cause of death to the 9th between 2000 and 2021, which is why the WHO advocates the need to improve access to its diagnosis and treatment. In 2019, the American Association of Kidney Patients declared 2020 to 2030 the decade of the kidney, to prioritize investment in kidney disease research and support the development of new diagnostics, devices, and biologics to combat the disease. And Nigerian doctors in the US who are specialized in this area have been instrumental in this regard. Nigerian-American doctor Benjamin Igwemeze received his MD MBBS at the College of Medicine, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he also did a postdoctoral training at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital. He completed his residency in internal medicine at the Hospital of Howard University in Washington, D.C., and a fellowship in nephrology at the Bowman Gray School of Medicine at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He is affiliated with the ASN, American Medical Association, American College of Physicians, National Kidney Foundation, and the North Carolina Medical Society. In 2001, Dr. Akiwande Akinfolari received his degree from the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, Oyo State, Southwest Nigeria. He completed his residency in 2006 at the Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital in Osun State before moving to the US for his residency at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, Mackey Sport. In 2016, he completed his nephrology fellowship at Brigham and Women's Hospital, Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. He is board certified in internal medicine and nephrology and a member of the American College of Physicians. Another Nigerian doctor who is flying the country's flag is Dr. Obioma Wobi. He earned his medical degree from the University of Nigeria Enugu campus and completed his pediatric residency at the Long Island College Hospital in Brooklyn, New York, followed by a fellowship in pediatric nephrology at the University of Miami. His clinical interests include hypertension, chronic kidney disease, dialysis, lupus nephritis, and kidney transplantation. He is a pediatric nephrologist within the Division of Nephrology at Nicholas Children's Hospital. Dr. Nnameka Chikwendo is board certified in internal medicine and nephrology. He also earned a medical degree from the University of Nigeria College of Medicine in Enugu and had an initial traditional rotating internship at the University Teaching Hospital. He later moved to the US and rounded off his residency and internship at the New York Medical College Metropolitan Hospital Center in New York. In addition, he completed a fellowship in nephrology at the University of Rochester Medical Center in Rochester and subspecialty training in interventional nephrology at the Emory University in Atlanta. He is an active member of the American Society of Nephrology and the National Kidney Foundation. These and many more Nigerian doctors are devoted to providing high-quality patient care for the prevention and treatment of kidney-related diseases.
Now let's shift our focus to our guest, Dr. Michael Etomi, a board-certified internal medicine nephrology specialist and co-founder of M&G Etomi Foundation.
Dr. Michael Etomi, a native of Edo State, was born in Ilesha, Osun State, southwest Nigeria. He also shares a relationship with the people of Okrika River State in the Niger Delta region, where his mother hails from. He spent his early years there before leaving Nigeria to train and practice medicine in the United States. The seed for being a physician was sown by his father, who encouraged him and his twin brother to study medicine and the other pharmacy. He graduated from the College of Health Sciences of the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, and completed his internship at the University College Hospital, Ibadan. He proceeded to the Yale University School of Medicine and Public Health, New Haven, Connecticut, where he obtained his Master of Public Health and Residency in Preventive Medicine degrees. Dr. Etomi completed his internal medicine residency at the Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center and his nephrology fellowship at the Mount Sinai Medical Center, New York. He is currently a senior partner and vice president of Metrolina Nephrology Associates in Charlotte, North Carolina. He is board certified in internal medicine and nephrology and a fellow of the American Society of Nephrology.
I went to the University of Ife College of Medical Sciences, now Obafemi Awolowo University, and very interesting is that in our own medical program, we did the first degree, which was a bachelor's in science. I did bachelor's in physiology and then spent a few more years then to become a physician. So after I finished the medical school, I went on to UCH Ibadan to do my internship for 1 year. And while doing my internship for 1 year, I met some mentors I'll never forget, like Professor Jide Badimosi, who convinced me to do internal medicine. I then did my youth corps with the military hospital in Lagos, and spent another year at both Yaba and Ikoyi, and then proceeded to Yale University School of Medicine. At that time, my conversation and all my decision I wanted to do was to go do my postgraduate studies and return to Nigeria to practice. So it was always my intention never to stay away, and once I finished my program, they then had a coup in Nigeria. I believe it was a Shagari coup. It was so disheartening, so discouraging, and quite a few of us who were there were also disheartened. So we all, unfortunately, then made the decision that we'll just stay here and continue and advance our professional careers. So I then went on to New York, Columbia College of Physicians, did my residency in internal medicine, and then proceeded to Mount Sinai Hospital, also in New York. I did my fellowship in nephrology, which is study of kidney diseases. And after that, I then moved on to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I have been in the practice of nephrology for almost 30 years. So it's kind of a journey that turned out not to be what I initially, not me and some of my colleagues intended it not to be. We wanted to return to Nigeria. Then unfortunately, things started happening back in Nigeria that made it now difficult for us to do. And once we got into this professional career, of course, started having children, started having practice, it became almost a fait accompli that, I found myself in the US.
He is a past president of the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas. His passion for helping the needy and indigent is the reason he co-founded the M&G Etomi Foundation with his twin brother, Mr. George Etomi. The foundation provides opportunities and resources to empower the Niger Delta community in breaking the cycle of poverty, facilitate change, and develop sustainable empowerment programs. In addition to his passion for medicine, Dr. Etomi also had interest in sports from a young age. He played cricket and tennis for the University of Fari and was tennis champion as a medical student for 2 years. He also played squash and was North Carolina's champion in 1994. When he is not working, he enjoys playing golf, watching sports, traveling, and meeting new people. Dr. Etomi finds fulfillment in making life better for both his patients and the people of Niger Delta, where he is transforming lives through his philanthropic work.
When I was at Yale, we did a lot of research at Yale. So Yale is, of course, is one of the Ivy League colleges. And obviously, research at levels that you never will have in Nigeria. So there's no quite a culture shock in that sense. But the one that was really a little bit of a culture shock was when we went into the residency training and fellowship training, where the real difference was not as much as the knowledge of medicine, as much as the practice of medicine incorporating technology. they were so much more technologically advanced. So a lot of the stuff we memorized in Nigeria on how to manage patients, studies to be done, radiographic studies, all this stuff that we never really saw, we saw them. So it is kind of set us back a bit, and it took about 6 months plus for us to adjust to these new technology. But once we adjusted, we all just fitted well, because quite honestly, we were well trained. One thing is for sure, as a Nigerian physician in the diaspora and also with my colleagues, one thing that is clear is that we hold our ground. We are as good as they come. And this is not being boastful or anything. We've come, we saw, and then we realized that we belong. So it's been a rewarding experience because you are able to manage patients the way you envisioned yourself wanting to take care of patients. You see outcomes that are really good. You see outcomes that are bad sometimes, but much of it is not because of lack of facility, lack of equipment, or lack of personnel or anything. So it becomes a case of wanting to make sure you practice medicine the way it's supposed to be practiced. So I must tell you that it's been a rewarding experience. There are so many things that can be corrected in Nigerian healthcare system, but the biggest portion of it is the fact that it's government that funds healthcare in Nigeria, completely funds healthcare in Nigeria. And the issue in Nigeria is that successive governments have not been able to keep up to the budget of funding healthcare facilities across Nigeria. And as the population ballooned and as medical students increased and as the cities and as everything disease got worse, it became clear that there were lots of gaps because of this basic lack of infrastructure to be able to handle this ballooning population. So until we have a government that really understands, maybe some of them do, but because there are competing needs for funds in Nigeria, but you have to put money into the healthcare industry to get the results you want. And unfortunately, if you don't do that, what you now see is that a lot of your young physicians who are hungry, they're voracious for knowledge, will begin to feel like they're being left behind. And now they have reasons to see their colleagues abroad and they see the difference, they want to move. The M&G Etomi Foundation stands for Mike and George Etomi. You probably don't know I'm an identical twin. My twin brother's name is George. He's a lawyer in Lagos, Nigeria. And what happened was that when we lost our mom in 2000, so I came from the US and she's from the river state of Nigeria, Krika precisely. So we went to bury her there. At some point in our lives, we grew up with our grandparents in Okrika, and it was a very sedate society where we were church-based, we were choristers, and there were lots of good things that we could see in belonging to such a society. There were law, there were order, kids went to school, kids did what they could do, and anyone that they didn't wanted to do, you reported to their parents. There was that level of organization. But when we returned back, or I must say, even before we returned back, we began to see changes in the whole Niger Delta, where with increasing oil exploration, these communities were now bastardized with oil pollution, different things, and a lot of the fishermen and all those who did other jobs just in so many ways lost their means of livelihood. And with that, we began to see cases of where most of these kids were beginning to get astray, and there's no more money to really begin to fix them. So the war didn't help. The Nigerian Biafran war didn't help. So when we returned to bury my mom, one thing that was striking was seeing so many children, just roaming the street. I mean, there were bikes everywhere. Just seemed to be a society that had lost its bearing. So we saw that even though we were tearful and mom had passed away, we realized that we needed to do something in our own way to contribute it. And that's how we both came about forming the M&G Etomi Foundation, which we registered in the US and then also registered in Nigeria. And the goals are clear. We want to do skill acquisitions. We want to be able to alleviate the level of poverty in some areas of the Niger Delta. But you want to do it, person and families at a time. So we really concentrate on a lot of women, female, because we know if you kind of rescue the female, you rescue the family. And we have so many success stories of individuals who have gone in their own private businesses over the years.
Wow.
So, and we have been the ones that have mostly funded the foundation, but we're happy. You can't derive any better joy than that. Specifically, I know this will be the young colleagues who are physicians, and even those who are not physicians. The thing about youth is that there's a certain level of curiosity in youth, because that is the age where you want to be able to feel that there's so much more I feel I can do. Will this environment let me do it? And I think when you are faced with those kind of questions, you begin to see despair in our youth currently in Nigeria. So a lot of those who are coming out of medical schools in particular, so many other schools too, I hear in banking, even in legal profession, IT, you see they begin to feel that there are limitations facing them. Okay. And not only limitations because the system cannot really truly absorb them. And in the particular case of medicine where I belong, most of the young doctors just feel like, first of all, it's not worth it practice in Nigeria. Some of them, after internship, after med school, can't get even internships to do for a year or two. And then some, when they finish, just stay around doing not much more. So okay. It's like, how do we spend 7, 8, 9 years in med school and come out with no hope for us in the future? And that is what you begin to see, that movement of people going abroad, looking for opportunities. And once they come out, they begin to see, hey, so this is what I can be. One would have loved that if you go out abroad and you eventually come back to Nigeria, it would have been the ideal stuff, but that's not what we're seeing. Because once you come out here, you see how it works. You are well remunerated for what you do. You're appreciated. You feel like I really belong to this society, but you complicated by the fact that that's also the period where you begin to have children, and as your children begin to grow, they're citizens of wherever you are, and you are obligated to now take care of them and continue to take care of them and continue to take care of them, and you find that each time you do that, you are staying more away from Nigeria. So it's hard to advise the youth, hard to advise them is just to pursue your goals. I would say there are a number of things I've done, but I can tell you that, coming out to be a nephrologist and taking care of sick patients, kidney disease, it's a really difficult disease for people to have, and then guiding a lot of patients through kidney disease into transplants has been one of the most befitting, rewarding things. And then secondly, I also became president of the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, over 4,000 or 5,000 diaspora physicians who have continuously engaged the Nigerian government in trying to improve healthcare, both in Nigeria and in America. So, and I would say these are some of the things one has really been able to do. There are many others, but at least for now, I can tell you that, those, when I look back, and I thank God for the opportunity of doing that. And then one more thing, in Charlotte, North Carolina, we also had the opportunity to participate, to become minority owners of the National Basketball Association Charlotte Hornets. That was obviously a high point, considering the fact that up to that time, there were hardly any minority owners of basketball organizations.
And that wraps up another episode of Diaspora Network. Remember, you can find more amazing stories of Nigerians making their mark on the global stage on our YouTube channel and website, channelstv.com. Until next time, I'm Gloria Umezuke. Bye for now.